everyone. I'm Yvonne, a children's librarian here at the Manchester City Library, and I would like to welcome you all to Elementary Experiments Fall Edition, or to welcome you back if you were here with us during the summer. Here we will do experiments and activities aimed at elementary grades 1 through 6, with a focus on STEAM, or science, technology, engineering, arts, or math. With the school year starting, we know that everyone has a lot to do, so we decided to post elementary experiments here online and then do them together in person on the very last Tuesday of the month at 3:30 p.m. at the Manchester City Library. So we will be posting 2 elementary experiments, one on the first Tuesday of the month, the second on the third Tuesday of the month, and then on the last Tuesday of the month, we will do both of those in person for everyone who would like to or can attend. So if you want to join us in person, please visit our website and register so that we can make sure that we have enough materials and crafts for everyone who comes. We are going to continue to post here to share our crafts and activities with as many people as possible. But if you are in grades 1 through 6 and you like what you see, remember that we are doing that monthly wrap-up in person on the last Tuesday. So now that we've covered all of that, let's take it in to this week's elementary experiments. Hello everyone, and welcome to Tricks for Treating, which is this week's elementary experiments. We are getting towards the end of October now. These are some fun things that will possibly help you get ready for a trick-or-treating. Or if you don't trick-or-treat or celebrate Halloween, you can definitely modify them for just everyday fun as well. So our very first thing we're going to do today is our activity, where we are looking into static electricity and some cool things that we can do with that. So go ahead and gather the supplies. And meet me back here to test it out. All right, so I have got some white tissue paper. I've also got a balloon. I have a marker. I have a pair of scissors. I have a staticky fabric. You can also use your hair, but I honestly don't want to mess up my hair, so I'm going to use a wool sweater that I have. And if you don't know, wool is actually basically made from the fur or the hair of sheep. So it also gives a good static charge, very similar to a human's hair. We may or may not need some tape later, depending on how our dancing ghost behaves. So I have this just in case, don't know if we'll need it. Okay, so our very first step is to take our tissue paper, and we only need one ply or one sheet of our tissue paper, so we want to make sure that there's only one page in there. And then we are going to cut out a ghost, a little tissue paper ghost at about like 1.5 inches. About that much. If you want, you can draw it before you cut it out, or you can just cut it out and then add your drawing afterwards. I think I'm going to try drawing it first. Just remember that tissue paper is very thin, so if you do color on it with any sort of marker, it will probably bleed through. So make sure that your surface is protected, that it's okay a surface to draw on, or that you have like a paper plate or papers or something under there to protect your workspace, as always. All right, let's see if we can get this ghost drawn. Okay, I went for a very classic ghost, as you can tell. And it did bleed through a little bit, which is a good thing that I have the plastic sheet down to protect my workspace. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut my ghost out. So I have got my ghost all ready. The next thing we're going to do is blow up our balloon. And we're going to go ahead and tie a knot in it. All right, now we are going to charge our balloon with some static electricity. So you can either do it in your hair, or as mentioned, I think I am going to do it on my sweater. So just go ahead and rub this for like at least 10 seconds, and we'll see if we can get our ghost to dance. All right, so I definitely learned a few things. First of all was that my table protector is plastic. So that was interfering with my ghost being able to lift up because the plastic was staticky and the balloon was staticky. So my ghost was not wanting to float. Also, I definitely made a smaller ghost, and it was able to fly a lot more easily. So finally, we saw that the static electricity definitely works to make our ghost fly. So now I'm going to use that tape, and I'm just going to tape the very, very, very tip of our little ghost pal, and I'm going to go ahead and see if I can make the ghost stand up and dance. Oh yeah, look at that little ghost pal. All right, so I hope that you enjoyed our little dancing ghost friend. I have heard that if you get really good at it, you can kind of keep the ghost floating in the air in between the balloon. I have not been able to do that yet, but if you guys want to practice, maybe you can get that good. In any case, I think that we should switch over to our craft. So if you were able to go to the Manchester City Library and pick up a craft bag, then go ahead and grab that now. And I will also get our stuff together and we can go over what you need either way. Welcome everyone to the craft portion of this test where we will be making Frankenstein's monster masks. If you have been to the Manchester City Library recently, or you are able to get there in the next weekish, we will have craft kits just like this as long as they last. If you are not able to get them for this video, we will have them for our in-person event. So if you sign up for that, you will be guaranteed a kit. But if you cannot do either of those things, then we're going to go over what's in here so that you can gather what supplies you can and make it yourself. All right, first off, I need my glasses. I don't think you need my glasses, but I will. Okay, so in our kit, we do have our instruction sheet as usual. Then we also have a template. This one we did get from Red Ted Art, and I will give you all the website so that if you are not able to get the template from us, you can maybe print it out for yourself. Also, we have a paper plate, which is going to be the main base of our mask. We have some elastic. We have a couple of bottle caps. We have a couple of pieces of pipe cleaner. And we have a square of silver paper for our decorations. Okay, now the first things first is going to be to cut out the templates. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, and we are also going to cut into these little triangles, both on the forehead piece, and then the forehead here. And we are also going to cut out the eye holes. So if you need some help to safely cut out the eye holes, then go ahead and make sure that you get that help because we want to be safe. I also want to say that, especially as far as the eyes and stuff go, you can definitely use your own imagination if you want to make them like a slightly different shape or something like that. I'm just showing you the base way, or the way that the original instructions would like us to do it, so that we can see how that looks. But if you guys think it'll still work with the changes you want to make, then go for it. Okay, so now we have to use our templates to trace our pieces onto our paper plate. This can be a little bit tricky. So what we want to do is we want to look on the back of the plate, so that the plate is convex, so it's shaping outwards, and that's what we want to draw on, so that it helps give us that sort of forehead part right here when we end up tracing our pieces. So we're going to want to line it up so that the this forehead line here lines up with the edge of the plate, just like it suggests on the writing. But we also want to make sure that this larger forehead piece can fit across the middle, because this is pretty long, and so it is going to fit best like pretty much right across the middle. So when you're laying those on, you just want to make sure that both pieces are going to fit on your plate pretty nicely. So you might have to make sure that they're pretty close together. But once you have that, then you can go ahead and trace around them with a pen or a pencil, and make sure that you trace also around into the little V's that we cut out, and into the eye holes. So we'll be able to cut those when we're done. All right, so now that I have my template traced onto my plate, I'm going ahead and cut that out. And I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to cut the up into the V's, and I'm going to cut out my eye holes. Okay, so now we've got our two pieces cut out of our paper plate. And now we come to the shaping part. So we have, as mentioned, like a little bit of a curve here because of how the paper plate is made. Now we're going to take these V's and actually make the curve even more. These are kind of used in sewing. When you make clothing, a V like this, cut like this out of a fabric, would be called a dart. And what we're going to do here is we're going to overlap some of the paper to close the dart. And if you look at how this bends, when you close the dart, the paper plate actually ends up bending more. It becomes more curved here. And so we are going to close this dart, and we're going to either tape or glue it down. Since I'm showing you guys, I'm going to use the faster option, and I'm just going to put a little bit of tape on the back. So we overlap, And remember, the more you overlap, the smaller your mask is going to be and the more curved the mask is going to be. So just sort of think about that as you go. So we got that first dart closed. Then we are going to do the same for the ones on the side. We're going to do this, and we're going to close it. And then we're going to tape it. Right, and the same for the forehead. Now for the coloring. Actually, it's probably a little bit easier if you color before you close all of your darts, but you definitely can afterwards. You just have to be more gentle when you color along the curves. And now, as you may know or may have noticed, most of the time, Frankenstein's monster is portrayed as being green in like general media, but you don't have to do it that way. You can have as many colors in your monster as you want because this is your monster now, and I really want you to have fun with it. So I'm going to go ahead and do a quick coloring on my pieces. Remember, at least for the way that the instructions tell us to put together, the parts with the dart on the large forehead is what is going to go over the forehead of the main mask. So if you are doing designs where that matters, that's how it goes. But if you want to do it differently, don't let me stop you. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick coloring and then we will get to putting things together. Okay, so I have my pieces here. So I'm going to line them up. And then again, I'm going to use tape to secure it on the back right here, and then on the sides. But you can use glue. You can also use staples to put this together, just whatever works best for you. Once you have your pieces together, you can add your eyebrows if you would like. Remember, kind of the shape of the eyebrows can actually give your mask like a lot of expression. So I'm going to go ahead and use glue for this one because it's pretty hard to get tape to stick to the pipe cleaners. So I'm just going to put a whole bunch of glue on my shaped eyebrow. And then while that is drying, I'm also going to add my Frankenstein stitches. So I'm going to do that with the silver paper that's in the kit, but you can do it with like regular paper as well. So I'm just going to cut a strip. Oh, wait, I think I'm going to cut a slightly wider strip because I want my strip to be as wide as the stitches that I'm going to make. And I want my stitches to go over the gap between my forehead piece and the rest of my mask. So I've got this, and then I'm going to cut this into strips this way. And these are going to be the individual stitches. And the silver paper that we give out in our kits, it is sticky on the back. So if you peel the paper off of the back, they are just stickers and they will go right onto the mask. If it'll come off. Okay, so we have our staple. And then I'm just going to put it right over this here so it sticks. Oh, and I think I need to let my eyebrows dry without moving this. So we will come back to this. Alright, so I've got my silver stitches on. So if you want to do your bottle cap bolts, obviously you can do them however you want, but if you want to cover them with silver, what I suggest is to trace around your bottle cap, but not quite close to it, or if you do trace close to it, like this here. So I am going to cut around, so leave some distance between where I traced and where I'm cutting. You see here. And then I'm going to cut through the silver pretty much to that line, just kind of around it. You see around here. And then I'm going to peel it. And put the cap in the middle. And then we'll be able to fold this down. And to secure it, I'm going to take another strip of this paper, the silver paper, and I'm going to mark about how tall the cap is. Okay, so like I said, one way to do this is to take the strip that is about the height of the cap and to put it here. And we're basically just going to tuck the edge of the round part down as we put the silver on. And it sticks to itself really well. So that's going to help us all the way around until we have this nice silver bolt. And then you can tape or glue that to the side of your mask. And then just repeat that again for your second one. All right, so our last step for our mask is to go ahead and put on the elastic so we can wear it. So I'm just going to use a pencil, but we basically need to put a hole through the side, or a hole in both sides. So definitely get an adult to help you if you're not sure about this step. Because the paper plates are kind of thick, you're going to need to poke a little bit harder, which means it's easier to hurt yourself if you're not careful. So please get an adult or an older kid who is going to be able to do it safer, or wait until you have a hole punch or something like that so you can do this part safely. But I'm just going to go ahead and put a hole through here. Right, and I am going to tuck in elastic and put my elastic down this side too. All right, and once you've got your elastic, you can tie a knot on one side, and then go ahead and try on your mask so you get the elastic at the right tension, or tape the strands of elastic together. So here we go. Let's go on this side. Right, my eyebrows are honestly still not dry. So they may fall off while I try this on, but here we go. Let's see. Here is my mask, and if I put it on, oh no, told you they weren't dry. All right, here I am. It's very beautiful. I love it. And obviously, this is a very non-traditional Frankenstein monster mask, and this one is more what people expect. But you can do anything you want with this, even if you don't want to do the stitches or the bolts, or whatever you want. This is just a good jumping off point for your tricks for treating, and maybe a last minute costume if you need one for the spooky season. If not, it's also just fun for everyday play. All right, everyone, I hope that you enjoyed this week's elementary experiments, tricks for treating. I hope that you got some fun tricks that you can show to your friends, and some last minute costume ideas for your treating. I also am going to add a few more books at the end for that will revolve around trick-or-treating and costume ideas and just some fun stuff like that that you can look at. So I just want to remind everyone that next week is going to be the last Tuesday in October. That is going to be October the 25th. So if you are in Manchester, New Hampshire, and you are in grades 1 through 6 and you want to join us at 3:30 in the Winchell Room at the Manchester City Library, we will be doing our activities and our crafts for this month in person. I think we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to get a little bit messy and maybe be a little bit loud, but in a good way. So if you want to join us, please go to our website and register so that we make sure that we have enough crafts and enough supplies for everyone to have a really fun time. I hope to see you then, but if I do not, I will hopefully see you here online again next month on the first Tuesday and then the third Tuesday virtually. Okay, so until then, bye.